Okay, in this video we'll be talking about how we can create scheduling alert in Splunk. Okay, so if you remember from my previous video, we talked about the overview of overall alerting mechanism in Splunk, right? And while doing that, we talked about this alert workflow, right? So in this video we'll be mainly concentrating on the schedule alert. In next videos we'll be discussing about the real-time alert and all. Okay, so we'll see how we can create a schedule alert, then their triggering condition and the throttling scenarios. Okay, now alerting action, as it is same for schedule alert and real-time alert, so I'll be creating separate video for them at all. So we will not be discussing alerting action in this particular video, but rest of the stuff we'll be discussing regarding schedule alert today. Okay, now if you see this overall workflow over here, so the first thing we need to define a search, right, to when we are creating an alert. Now there are two ways you can create an alert. Okay, so now first we'll see the first way, then we will talk about any other thing. Now in this particular video, for demo purpose, we'll be using our underscore internal index to find out what are the error event occurring in my system. Okay, and based on that we'll be alerting that one. Now for that, what I have done is I actually created, let me just explain that one, because that setup is important when we will be discussing the throttling. So it will be easier for me to introduce the throttling. So you remember previously we have talked about the TMDB app, right? So inside the TMDB app, I actually created two different alerts: error generating alert 1, error generating alert 2. So what these two alerts are basically doing, so these alerts are basically getting failed because it's just a simple query, but it is trying to send an email to an ID which does not exist. So if you see our underscore internal index, it will be, whenever it's failing to send this email, right, it will generate and log to the Splunk D file, right? So as all our Splunk internal log files are indexed into our underscore internal index, so this log will be available in our Splunk environment as an error. To know that, what we will do is we will run this particular search. Okay, so what we are doing over here is index equals to underscore internal, then we are searching for error only. That's why we have included not debug, and my source is Splunk dlog. Okay, and I will be only pulling the last 5 minutes of data. So if you select any time range over here, it will does not affect, because I am giving the earliest and latest time in my query as well. Okay, so if I run it, if you see, we have now 6 events, all are coming from that xxxx@test.com. Okay, now similarly I have error generating alert 2, which is currently disabled, which will be enabling when we talk about the throttling. Okay, now this is the similar alert, but only the email ID has been changed, thus to distinguish between those two events. Okay, now we have our initial query for our alert. Also, what I have done it over here, I just introduced a small regular expression to extract the email ID. Okay, so if you see from this raw event, I am just extracting this email ID. This will also be required when we talk about throttling. Okay. So now if you see, it will create a new field called email underscore ID, mail underscore ID. Okay, now currently we only have xxxx@test.com. Okay, now to create an alert, what you need to do is, this is the first way, click on save as, click on alert over here. Okay, you give the title here. I'll be, as I am demoing it, I'll be giving demo alert. Okay, so description, you need to give some meaningful description. Okay, now permission means when you create an alert, right, it basically creates a saved search. Now where that saved search file will be stored, that will be defined by the permission. So by default it is private, right? That means the saved search will be stored inside Splunk etc system. Okay, then etc not system, users. Currently I am logged in as an admin. Okay, then I have to go to admin. Then under which app I am creating this particular alert, it will be creating. So currently I am in search and reporting app. So if I just save it in private mode, I will just show you that one only. So alert type will be scheduled, as we are discussing about schedule alert. I'll be coming back to this private and public, private and shared in app latter part of this video. Okay, so now this is the scheduling, but for schedule alert you need to provide a schedule, right? Now by default Splunk provides lot of default schedule, like run every hour. You can choose what after hour, what minutes past to the hour you want to run. For every day you can choose what time you want to run. For every week you can choose which day of the week, what time you can run. Okay, for every month also similar stuff, which day of the month and what time you can run. Now for our demo we'll be running on the cron schedule. Okay, now as you remember previously in my channel also, in one of the videos I discussed about this cron tab guru, right? So this is the cron tab schedule for 5 minutes. Okay, so I'll be copying that. I want my alert to run by for each and every 5 minutes only. Okay, because if you see the search I have created before, the search is actually pulling the data for last 5 minutes, right? Now this is important part. When you schedule an alert, okay, and the alert should pull the data correspondingly. That means if you are scheduling for 5 minutes, that means the alert schedule search is running every 5 minutes. Ideally the alert should pull the data for last 5 minutes only, so that there will be no gap in the event. Okay, now trigger. So this is the triggering condition. So if I just go back over here, okay, so when we create an alert, so if you see we defined our search, then we choose the alert type over here, right, by choosing this one, schedule alert or real-time alert. Then we are providing the alert triggering condition over here, right? So if I just go back over here, so triggering condition means on the search result, whatever search we are providing, that means this is the search we are providing, right? On the search result, the triggering conditions basically finding a pattern. Now you can define your own triggering condition like this, number of results. So suppose if the number of results is greater than 0, I'll be providing, you can provide any number, I'll be providing 2 over here. Then my alert will be triggered. Instead of number of results, you can see for number of hosts, number of source, or custom. That means custom means for any field you can define a condition over there. Okay, we'll see that one for the custom as well. For initial purpose we will just see the number of results greater than 2. Okay, now the trigger, either it is once or for each result. That means when the alert will be triggered based on the result set, either it should trigger only once or for each result of the result set. This is what this condition is actually about. Okay, so now for initial setup we will do for once. Okay, now when you want to create an alert, as I said, triggering actions, I will be creating separate videos for each and every actions. So for this video what I'll do is I'll just select the simplistic action possible in alert, is called add to triggered alerts. Okay, so when you do that and severity, I'll just say hi. Okay, I'll just save it, view alert, I'll just do it once. So now when we add to trigger alerts, right, it basically adds to over here activity, then trigger alerts. Okay, you can choose your app over here to see what alerts has been triggered over there. Okay, so now to see what alerts has been created, you need to go to settings, search, reports, and new alerts. Okay, now you have to choose your app. As I have created my alert on search and reporting app, so that's why I am selecting search and reporting app, and this is the demo alert we have created, right? And it will show you the alert name, alert description, the actions you can take on those alerts, the next schedule time, okay, and then the display view, or then the owner, the app and these things and the alert sharing. Now currently it is private, right? Now as I told you, in under etc users admin, we need to go to our search app, right? There you have to, if you go to local folder and open the savesearches.conf, okay, so this, there will be a stanza called demo alert, okay, which will correspond to our alert name, correct? And then we have our all the details related to our alert, which search it is running, what is the conditions for the triggering conditions, everything will be defined over. What is the cron schedule for that alert? So this is another way you can create an alert as well through configurations files, okay? So now, so let us go back over here, okay? So for, if I just change the permission now to app level, okay, I'll just give currently read and write for everyone just to be simplistic. Now if you see it over here, okay, this alert has been moved to somewhere else. So now if I just open this search local, this settings gone now, right? So now what I need to do, I need to go to etc apps search folder. This is my search app, right? And if I just go to search app local folder, this savesearches.conf will have our demo alert settings, okay? So this is the thing happening behind the scene when you change the setting of an alert, okay? Now for demo alert, I'll just go to edit alert now, okay? So we have seen our search, we have selected scheduled search, schedule alert type, right? We have given our schedule and the condition is number of results is greater than 2, okay, and the severity will be high. We'll just save it, done, okay? So my next schedule is on 10:55. Let's wait for 2 minutes and just see what is the first triggering happening for the alert, okay? So I'll just pause this video, we'll come back when we have 10:55. So currently it is 10:53, okay? Okay, so it is 10:55 now, okay? So let me refresh this page just to see whether alert has been triggered or not. Now if you see the number of alerts becoming 1 from 0, right? And whether it has triggered any alerts or not, how we will see it, as we have added to triggered alerts. So you will click on activity and we will click on triggered alerts, okay? Now search and reporting app has been selected over here, and if you see at 10:55 the alert has been triggered and the alert type is scheduled, search is, app name is search, alert name is this one. If you see the mode is digest. Now if I just go to alert definition, as we have selected trigger only once, that's why the alert mode is digest. That means for all the results it will fire only once, okay? If I just click on view results, you will see all the events belongs to that alert. The alert has been all the events fetched by this alert search query, okay? So this is how in simplistic way alert works. Now I'll just go back over here, okay? Now we will modify it. Now let me show you for each result how it looks like, okay, before we go to the throttling, okay, and other conditions. Now I am saving the alert as if for each results, and then I am just clicking on save, okay, done. So my next schedule is on 11, okay? We'll wait till 11 and see. So currently my alert has been fired only once. So this number at 11 o'clock, this number should be moved to 2, okay? So I'm just pausing the video. We'll come back after 4 minutes. Okay, our 4 minutes is over. We are now 11 PM now. So if I just refresh this particular page, so now if you see it became 2, right? And if I just refresh the triggered alert page, now everything is same. If you see the mode, now it became per result, okay? Now if you see the results, it will still fetch that particular search result, whatever it is able to fetch, right? Now in terms of this display and the other display, like for digestive mode and per result mode, we are seeing comparatively similar kind of result, but only difference will be when we'll be discussing about that alert triggering alert action, right? So this case, it will be taking the action only once per result set. Here it will be taking the action for all of the rows for a particular result set. That's the difference over there. It will be more clear when we will be talking about the alert action in future video. Okay, so now we saw about the digestive mode and the per result for the schedule alert. So let's go back over here in the alert edit alert portion. Okay, I'll keep this for each result. Okay, now we are entering into the throttling. Okay, now what is throttling over here? Now, as I said in my previous video, throttling is used to suppress the alert for a particular time frame. Okay, let's say for 1 hour, 2 hour. Now when we needed it, because sometimes it may happen that we are generating similar kinds of alerts, okay, for a particular time frame. We don't want to get, and if that alert is sending email, we'll be basically getting same email again and again in our inbox, right? So to avoid that, an admin can choose to throttle an alert for let's say 1 hour or 2 hour, okay, for similar kind of event. But if something different coming up, it should be alerting that one. Okay, so we'll see those scenarios now using throttling. Okay, now before we turn on throttling, okay, so what we'll do is we will first disable this alert. Okay, now you should not do it in production scenario, as I want to explain how throttling works. That's why the timing is important over here. So I just want, because we will be seeing the whole time frame, how it is working. So that's why I just wanted to start from the beginning. Okay, so I just disable the alert. So before enabling the alert, I'll just do the throttling conditions. So for that, I'll just click on this throttling checkbox. Okay, now as you have seen before, I have created this mail ID, right? This mail ID new field, right, using this regular expression. So we will be using this mail ID field only for our throttling thing. Now before I do this one, if you see, my trigger can be fired only once or for each result, right? Now if you see, when I am clicking on once, I have only option to give the time range. That means for how much time I want to suppress the alert. That's all. Okay, because for this once conditions, my alert has been fired only for single time for whole record set. Okay, now for each result, this new field has been created called suppress result containing the field value. Okay, so now why this particular field is needed? Now the idea behind this particular field is, suppose for an example, we are monitoring the failed login for users in our database or in our web servers. Okay, now it may happen that for a particular user, depends on how we are generating our events, it may happen that we are generating lot of events, similar events. Now as our alert is for each result, so that means, and if the alert is sending email instead of adding to triggering alerts, it may happen that it will trigger lots of emails, but all emails will be containing the similar information, right? So we don't want to do that. We want to send only once for hour or for 2 hours. In that case, the admin will choose to throttle the alert for 5 hours or 2 hours, okay, or in any hours, but it will choose to throttle only based on similar events. Now suppose, that means if that for our scenario, it will be giving this particular condition as a user ID, right? Because in that throttling period where we are suppressing the alert, if for user B some failed login events are occurring, we want to alert that. We are only stopping for similar user which is already alerted. Now in the next cycle, when we already alerted A and B, we will not be alerting A and B again. For user C, if something failed login coming up, we'll only alert this user C. Okay, we'll be alerting that one. Okay, so now for our case, as we are dealing with our raw data, which error data, right, from Splunk, and if I just run it over here, okay, and we have email ID to distinguish between those two error generating alert, as I have shown you at the start of this video. One is generating with this xxxs at test.com, another is yyyy at test.com. currently yyyy is in disable mode, right? So we'll be using this mail underscore ID as our condition over here. Okay, here you have to remember, you will be giving a field name, no other conditions. Okay, now I have given email ID, so rest of the settings I will be keeping as it is. Okay, and this triggering actions will be same as well. Okay, I'll be clicking on save, done. Okay, so now my alert throttling code I have added to my alert. Now currently my alert is in disable mode, so I'll just enable it. Okay, so when I enable it, so my first time the alert will be fired on 11:45. So currently it is 11:42 over here. So when you have throttling, right, so the first alerting will be triggered over here always. Okay, if you are starting from the first, that means 11:45 we are expecting the alert should be triggered, then the throttling comes into picture, then the throttling period starts basically. So to do that, what we will do is we'll draw a simple timeline. Okay, a timeline will draw. Okay, now what we'll do is we'll do this one. So we are expecting, that's why I am giving green color over here. Okay, so 11:45 p.m. it should run. Okay, now let's see, I think I have done one. No, I have, the throttling period will be 9 minutes over here. Okay, that's fine. Yeah. So we will wait another 1 minute and then come back. Okay, so I'll just pause my video for 1 minute. Okay, it is 11:45 now. I'll just refresh this page. So it's been alerted, right? And if I just see it in my triggered alert, so 11:45 my alert has been triggered, right, with that result. If you want to see the results, so it fetched only this many number of events. Okay, so now my throttling period starts. Now if you see, my next schedule time is 11:50, that as I have 5 minutes of cron schedule, right? But as throttling started, that means next 9 minutes the alert should not be fired. That means from 11:45 to 11:54 the alert should not be fired at all. So if I just go back to my timeline, okay, so I'll choose a separate color. Okay, and I'll choose a line. So over here, this is my throttling period, right? So this is 11:54 p.m. correct? So till this point nothing should be fired. Now why I am saying nothing should be fired? Because if you see it over here in the alert search, triggered alert search, when I run, all are belongs to xxxx@test.com. okay, because I still not enabled that yyyy@test.com. okay, so that means I will not be triggering, and as I have given my mail ID as my throttling condition, that means I will not be alerting it again. Okay, so that means my 11:50 schedule should be skipped. So to add it over here, I'll add it in red color. Okay, So my 11:50 schedule should be skipped. So this is my 11:50 p.m. schedule, right? So and I have and as I have 5 minutes of scheduling, that means 11:55 I should be good again, right? So we'll see that one. Okay, so currently it is 11:47. okay, we'll come back on 11:50 just to check it out whether the alert has been triggered or not. So currently the alert has been triggered only once. If it is triggered, then it will move to 2, otherwise it will not. Okay, so we'll come back after 3 minutes. Currently it is 11:47, 11:48 basically, so 2 minutes. So currently it is 11:50. Let me refresh this page and see. So currently it is only 1. If it is triggered, it should be 2, but it is still 1. That means our alert has not been fired. Okay, and the next schedule time changed to 11:55. Now to confirm that whether it is triggered or not, I will be refreshing the triggered page. It's only triggered on 11:45. So 11:50 schedule has been skipped as expected. Now the next schedule is on 11:55. Now as the throttling period is ending on 11:54 p.m. so that means 11:55 p.m. the alert should be triggered. Okay, so to do that I'll add here. Okay, so this will be my 11:55 p.m. schedule, right? So this should be triggered now. So if I just go back over here, so 11:55, currently our time is 11:51, so we'll come back after 4 minutes. So currently it is 11:55. Let's refresh this page. So currently the total alerted count is 1. So if I just refresh it, now as we expected, the alert has been triggered. To verify it, if I just refresh the triggered alert page, so the alert has been triggered already. So it is matching with this one. Now again the throttling period will start of 9 minutes. So let's do another cycle just to see that the same pattern has been repeating or not. So if I just see it, now the next schedule is on 12, right? But as we have throttling period of 9 minutes, that means till 12:04 nothing will be triggered, right? So that means this is my throttling period, and this will be 12:04 a.m. nothing will be triggered. That means my 12 o'clock schedule will not be occurring, right? So that means this will be skipped as well. So I'll just draw that line 1 minute. Okay, then I'll just add a text over here. It's 12 a.m. right? So this schedule will be skipped. So let's see that one. So currently the next schedule time is 12, which we are expecting to be skipped. So current time is 11:56. We'll come back after 4 minutes. Okay, currently it is 12 a.m. Now the previous number of alerts was 2, number 2. So if I just refresh it, now if you see, the alert has been still 2, because as we expected the 12 a.m. alert will be skipped. So the alert has been skipped. To verify that, we can refresh the triggered alert page, and it is not alerted. The last alert was 11:55, right? So at 12:04 the throttling period has been over, right? So next schedule time, if we see it over here, is on 12:05, right, a.m. So that means 12:05 it should be triggered. So if I just add this green bar over here, so that means we are expecting 12:05 it should be triggered. So 12:05 a.m. Now if you see, right, this pattern is getting repeated again and again for throttling, right? Now we will see in the throttling period we will be alerting, okay? After the 12:05 schedule run, we will update something to see that, okay? Now it is 12:01 a.m. so we'll have to wait for another 4 minutes. We'll come back after 4 minutes to check it out whether on 12:05 a.m. it's been triggered or not. So my current time is 12:05 a.m. as we are expecting the alert should be fired. So let us refresh the page. So current count is 2. So if I just refresh the page, so the count has been increased to 3. Now the same thing should be seen over here as well. So 12:05 the alert has been triggered, right? So if I just go back to our timeline, so this is our 12:05, right? Now again my throttling period will start another 9 minutes, right? So till, that means till 12:14 the throttling period is there. That means the next schedule 12:10 should be skipped, because we have seen, like, we have a single email ID. Now it is the time I will update this one. I will enable this guy, okay? So that means it will start pushing the error events with yyyyy@test.com, okay? So now if I just draw the timeline again, so this is our throttling period. That means till 12:14 a.m. We have our throttling period. Now in between we have a scheduling time at 12:10, correct? So if I just see it, 12:10, right? So if I just draw that one, now this will be not be in red color. We are expecting that will be in green color, because we are now ingesting another email ID to our system. So if I just run this search, okay, for last 5 minutes, there should be an event with yyyyy@test.com. That means the alert should be fired now, okay? So if I just draw this one using green color, okay, so this is where we are breaking this particular pattern, okay? Because why it is breaking? Because the new event is coming up with new email ID. Till this point we have a single email ID. That's why we are not alerting it again and again. As at this point a new email ID is coming up, we have to alert it, okay? So if I just write the timeline over here, so it is 12:10. So we are expecting at 12:10 my alert should be fired, okay, even though we are inside our throttling period, okay? So my current time is 12:07, okay? So you have to wait for 3 minutes. We'll come back after 3 minutes. So my current time is 12:10 a.m. okay? So my current alert count is 3. So if I just refresh, so as we have expected, the alert should be fired, okay, even though we are inside our throttling period. Now to verify that, if I just clicking on triggering alert, so if you see 12:10 the alert has been fired. Now if we just see the events, the event should include the yyyyy results as well as xxx, because the events is only the search result, okay? Here you have to think another thing. Even though you are alerting, the alert can only alert the search result itself, as we are defined the alert as a per result wise, okay? It cannot filter out only the yyyyy@test.com. So you have to remember that. But we are alerting it, okay? So this is how throttling works. So hopefully I'm able to provide you some intuition about how throttling works. And to enable throttling, you no need to disable the alert and enable it. I have disabled the alert because I just wanted to make this timeline to be very fresh, okay, and all these alerts, triggered alerts, to be starting from beginning, so that it will be easier for me to explain. So that is why I have disabled that alert and set the throttling and then enabled it. Okay, so let's go back to our alert mode. Let us see if we have missed anything over there or not. Anyway, alert actions we'll be discussing in future videos. Now the alert, trigger alert condition, we talked about custom condition, like, so you can, custom condition means, if you see for other conditions, here you are just seeing the number of results, number of host means host field, right? Number of source means source field, right? Custom means any field. I can say email underscore ID. I just wanted to alert only xxxx@test.com. So I can add condition something like this. So it will be only pulling this kind of event, okay, for alerting. So this is the custom triggering condition. So here if you see the field name and the field value, you can give it, but inside the throttling, when you are suppressing result based containing some field value, you can only give the field name. Okay, that's the difference. Okay, so this is how we can create the scheduling alert and its corresponding different configurations. Okay, in the next video we'll be talking about how to deal with real-time alert. See you in next video.